In this video, I will show you a new type of function, a piecewise function. Okay, so this is an example of a piecewise function. Let's say f of x is defined as this. So when x is less than or equal to 0, it will follow one rule. When x is when x is strictly bigger than 0, it will follow another rule. So a piecewise function is when you split the function into different segments, and then depending on what segment you're in, you're going to follow one rule, and if you're in another segment, you follow another. You see what I mean? It's easy just to show it to you. So for example, this so in the domain, remember, domain is what's going along here, because your machine, your function here, the domain is what you put into the machine. So in the negative domain, so in the domain of where x is less than or equal to 0, you're going to follow this rule here. So when you plot a graph of, let's imagine you drawing a graph of y equals negative x plus 2. The intercept is 2, so the intercept is 2 here, and the gradient is negative 1. So it will be you drawing a straight line with a negative gradient going along here. Well, if you look at the function here, the domain, well, it's only valid when the domain is less than or equal to 0. So you've got to get rid of the right hand side here, because it's saying only valid when x is less than or equal to 0. So it does include the 0 itself. Okay, so when x is strictly bigger than 0, you will have to follow this rule here. So this here will have an intercept of 1, a gradient of also 1. So an intercept of 1 here, so this is your intercept, and a gradient of 1, it means it will follow this. Okay, but the thing is, it doesn't go into the negative realm, because it's saying when x is bigger than 0, so this here, it does not include 0, so you're going to have an empty circle here. So this here will be a black circle, this here will be a white circle, so it will be like this. So your function here will look like this. And by the way, you cannot have two black circles here, because you're saying that you're saying that when x is 0, you've got two values. You could have one here and one here. So a function cannot have two values. So for example, this here is not a function, because when you draw a vertical line here, it has three values here. You cannot have this here must be a white circle here, because a function can only have one value for any given vertical line. So for example, if you choose 0 here, you've only got one value here, which is 2. Whereas earlier, if you have this here, if you select 0, if you select x to be 0, then here you've got two values. Then it's no longer a function. My point is that you can only have one value here, so this has to be a white circle here. Okay, so your function looks like this. See, this is a piecewise function, because when x is less than or equal to 0, it follows one rule. When x is bigger than 0, it follows another rule here. So it's you cutting. Well, I will give you more examples of this in the next video. Okay.